To provoke his childhood sweetheart, school heartthrob Chiyu hired me as his girlfriend for 10,000 a month. While his childhood sweetheart congratulated us on the surface, she secretly sent people to cause trouble for me. When I was cornered in the bathroom and taught a lesson once again, I saw the bullet comments. The female lead is really pitiful. If she hadn't missed today's ceremony, she would have met her wealthy biological mother in the auditorium, been recognized and brought back to a wealthy family to become the beloved center of attention, and wouldn't have to suffer 10 years of physical and emotional torment from the male lead. It turns out I'm the tragic heroine in a domineering CEO novel who gets her kidney and heart ripped out. Isn't being the wealthy heiress much better? Whoever wants to be this stupid heroine can have it. The next second, I flipped over and jumped down from the window. On the eve of the scholarship award ceremony, I was once again cornered in the bathroom by those mean girls. Just as I was pondering how to escape, a barrage of bullet comments suddenly appeared before my eyes. I'm so excited. This part is where the heroine falls head over heels for the hero after he saves her. She's about to suffer both physical and emotional humiliation. My heart aches for our girl. Relax, relax. The suffering now is all for the sake of sweeter moments. Half an hour later, bitter before sweet, 94. This heroic rescue is definitely the male lead's shining moment. To help the female lead vent her anger, he used his family connections to teach that annoying girl a lesson, and he visits the hospital every day to care for her. The pink bubbles between them are about to overflow. It's so sweet it makes my teeth ache, amidst a barrage of comments fawning over the characters. I keenly spotted one. The female lead is so pitiful. If she hadn't missed today's ceremony, she would have met her wealthy biological mother, who was there to present an award. In the auditorium, she would have been recognized and brought back to a wealthy family, becoming the center of everyone's affection, and wouldn't have had to endure 10 years of physical and emotional abuse from the scumbag male lead. A few comments followed in agreement, but they were quickly drowned out by the mindless remarks from the male lead's obsessive fans. Based on the content pieced together from the bullet comments, I realized I'm the unlucky female lead in a domineering CEO novel who gets her kidney and heart ripped out. Though called the female lead, I'm just a big fool who gets physically and emotionally abused by a scumbag for 10 years, only to end up with a happy ending for no reason. Whoever wants to be this stupid female lead can have it. I'm going back to my wealthy family to be the pampered eldest daughter. Right now, the path to the door is blocked by a wall of people, leaving only the window as the way out. Fortunately, the school buildings are all built against the mountain. The floors near the hillside may look high, but outside the windows are grassy slopes. I quietly stepped back toward the window. Hey, we meet again. The leader, a red-haired girl, is the school's top boss, known as Red Sister. 3 days ago, in this very same restroom, she used my head like a mop, repeatedly swirling it around in the dirty water of the sink. After she had her fill of fun, she locked me inside a toilet stall. It wasn't until the next morning that the cleaning lady finally let me out. Suppressing the fear in my heart, I tried to reason with them. I've already broken up with Chiyu as you demanded. Why are you still coming to me? Sister Hong toyed with a slender cigarette between her fingers, casually remarking. Is that so? But I heard Chiyu didn't agree. Breaking up doesn't require both parties to agree. I glanced sideways at the window with the corner of my eye. Heaven help me, the window was open. The cleaning lady's tool cart happened to be over there as well. TSK, it seems I was too lenient last time. You haven't learned your lesson. Sister Hong lit a cigarette in her hand, glanced at the young girls following behind her, and sneered as she spoke. Whoever can make her scream the loudest will get an extra 10,000 from Miss Liu. It's up to you. As soon as the words were spoken, the colorful, spiritual sisters all looked eager to give it a try, but everyone wanted to be the one to go last, and for a moment, no one made a move. This gave me the perfect opportunity. While they were busy pushing and shoving each other in a show of courtesy, I reached out, grabbed the tool cart, and shoved it hard toward them. No one expected me to suddenly fight back. Everyone was startled by the sudden turn of events, scattering and retreating backward. The next second, I flipped over and leaped down from the window, just as expected. After rolling 3 or 4 times on the grassy slope, I landed safely. Ignoring the curses behind me, I lifted my leg and ran toward the auditorium. The barrage of comments, which had been buzzing with excitement over the impending sweet moment, fell silent for 3 seconds before erupting into a screen full of question marks. What's going on? The female lead ran away. My son, Such a handsome hero saving the damsel, and it's just gone like that. The male lead is already on his way. Damn it, lovers missing each other. The barrage is all criticizing the plot, with a few even cursing me personally, but thanks to their foul mouths, I was able to easily spot those few useful spoilers amidst the sea of asterisk-filled comments. With this direction, can my baby be recognized by the wealthy family ahead of time? Excited, you're overthinking it. The female lead's mother has already left the auditorium. She was originally supposed to present the scholarship to the female lead, but since the female lead was absent, her mother left early as well. Exactly, the little sister should be turning left and heading through the main building to the auditorium soon. Jumping off the windowsill earlier might have just been a bug in the plot, which got my hopes up for nothing. I'm so anxious, I'm really anxious. Can't my girl just slip and roll down the slope in front of the main building? Ah, look at your mom. Can the female lead's fans upstairs please respect the original plot? If you want to watch a rich family, strong female lead, satisfying story, please turn left and leave. Don't keep chattering here. When are our male lead fans going to die? Fans reflect their idols, just as brain dead as the female lead. The plot's already a mess. So what's wrong with me saying something? You all were screaming, leopard, and kitten, when you were enjoying the sweet moments, but as soon as you put down your chopsticks, you start cursing. My girl is just a pure tool. I wish all the male lead fans upstairs have 10 sons in one go. May you never stop giving birth, baby. Right now, roll down, and you'll just happen to stop right in front of your birth mother's car. What's waiting for you next is the immense wealth of a wealthy family. Baby, can you look at me? Woo-woo, look at me. I abruptly halted my steps and, without a moment's hesitation, let myself tumble down the slope. Unlike the previous slope, this one was higher and steeper, causing me to roll down even faster. I clung tightly to my head. Unsure how many times I tumbled before finally landing firmly on the solid concrete ground. A sharp screech of tires scraping against the pavement echoed in my ears. I struggled to open my eyes, but the dizziness was overwhelming, and my eyelids felt as heavy as lead. Refusing to lift, I could only faintly make out a pair of white high heels approaching me. With a faint glance at the barrage, it was once again filled with asterisks. I smiled. I knew I had succeeded. When I woke up again, I was already lying in a hospital bed, thinking about what happened today. My mind was still a bit dazed. From as far back as I can remember, I lived in an orphanage. At the age of 6, I was adopted by a couple. At first, they treated me well, but after they had a son the following year, my life turned completely upside down. Even though I did everything I could, working more and spending less, I still couldn't avoid being picked on, beaten, and verbally abused. In the summer of my 3rd year of junior high, my adoptive father, who had been working hard away from home, achieved some success and decided to bring my adoptive mother and younger brother to live with him. So, they quietly moved away without a word. I learned about their departure from the new tenants who moved in, and all they left me was a suitcase and the 20 yuan they gave me the morning I left home, because I was underage. I could only work illegally to support myself and cover the most basic needs of food and shelter. Fortunately, my excellent academic performance allowed me to receive scholarships and grants that basically covered my living and study expenses throughout my 3 years of high school. Just when I thought life would continue in this orderly way, Chiyu disrupted my peaceful existence. He transferred to the school in his 2nd year of high school, handsome and from a good family. He instantly became the center of attention at school. A prodigy like him should have had nothing to do with me, but after the monthly exam results came out, I realized how wrong I was. He knocked me off the top spot in the grade. From then on, I became the eternal runner-up. If at first it was about the heartache of having my scholarship cut in half, then later it was purely about how much he annoyed me every time I made a little progress. He always managed to progress just a little bit more than me. Every time, I fell just a little short of him. After chasing Chiyu for a year, I once thought in a self-defeating way that the few points I was behind him couldn't be closed by my efforts alone. After all, while he was receiving extracurricular tutoring from a famous teacher in an air-conditioned room, I was handing out flyers outdoors in the scorching heat and bitter cold to earn my living expenses. But I could comfort myself for a moment, yet I could never convince myself to admit defeat. What I didn't expect was that at the start of the senior year of high school, Chiyu would take the initiative to approach me. Jiangyu, I want to hire you to be my girlfriend. 3 months, 10,000 per month. All you need to do is play along with me in a little act. Nothing else required. He got straight to the point. seemingly certain I wouldn't refuse him. But I just found it baffling and had no intention of engaging with him. Seeing that I was about to leave, he continued to raise the stakes. Besides that, I can also let you sit in on my extracurricular tutoring classes. I admit, I was shamefully moved. You've always wanted to surpass me, haven't you? I'm giving you this fair chance to compete. Do you dare to challenge me? Chiyu had my thoughts completely figured out. He had come prepared from the very beginning. I took on the task and started eating and studying with Chiyu, becoming his publicly acknowledged girlfriend. I thought it would just be a matter of enduring some sarcastic remarks and targeted harassment, but who would have thought those people would escalate, finding new ways to torment me every day. I knew all of this was orchestrated by Chiyu's childhood friend, Lu Cini. Chiyu had asked me to pretend to be his girlfriend precisely to provoke Lu Cini. When it came to Chiyu being in a relationship, Lu Cini offered congratulations with her words, but the look in her eyes gave her away: disdain, resentment. Yet on the surface, she maintained a friendly and kind demeanor. I told Chiyu, but he simply didn't believe me, thinking of the hard-won extracurricular tutoring and the fact that I had returned to the top of my grade after a year. I gritted my teeth and decided to persevere a little longer, perhaps by the grace of heaven. After that unpleasant parting with Chiyu, Lu Cini's little followers suddenly quieted down, but before a week had passed, the colorful, spiritual girls came looking for me. The leader, Sister Hong, pinned me under her foot, picked up a cigarette butt, and pressed it firmly against my arm. Break up with Chiyu, or next time it won't just be your hand that gets burned. I decisively broke up with Chiyu, but he refused, claiming that the 3-month agreement period hadn't ended yet. And he continued to act as my boyfriend. I showed him the cigarette burn marks on my arm, and he said, "That's a pretty good burn makeup." In his eyes, everything I said and did was to retaliate and smear Lu Cini. Jiangyu, enough is enough, I tried to explain, but he was like a deaf person, not hearing a single word. I didn't understand why before, but now I finally know that everything that happened earlier was due to the plot. What about now, after escaping the control of the plot? How will this world develop? Just as I was puzzled, the vanished bullet comments reappeared. Those noisy scumbag fans have finally been kicked out. Snacks and drinks are ready. I can continue watching my girl with my online sisters. So happy, it's finally back online. Let me see how my baby girl is doing. Has she reunited with her birth mother? Given how the plot has fallen apart like this, is the male lead's biological sister about to be recognized soon? Possibly. If Sister Bao wants to deal with the second female lead, she's bound to bring this matter up. Wouldn't that mean Bao Bao might get to meet her bestie earlier? Damn it, this lousy comment system blocked the name. Su and Lu. I'm going to post it anyway. Let's see if you can still block it now. Su Anil. I remember, the top student in the second year of high school was named that. We briefly shared the stage when receiving scholarships and financial aid before. So she's Chi Yu's younger sister. I remember Gui Gui and the female lead's rival were in the same class. Because of her excellent grades, she was often targeted by the rival. They were like sisters in misfortune, suffering together. Who remembers the part in the novel where the younger sister and Gui Gui went to the hot springs? They took off their clothes, and one had cigarette burns and curling iron scars all over her body, while the other had a large burn scar on her back. The two poor souls held each other and cried their hearts out. It really broke my heart at the time. Seriously, can the female lead's rival just go away? Female lead baby, please get your act together. Promise me, punch the scumbag, kick the second female lead, and do my breasts a favor, okay? This time, there were far fewer bullet comments than before, but the atmosphere was great, and everyone was chatting happily. I was also very happy, thanks to their help. I was able to smoothly escape from hell and start a brand new life. The paternity test results came out quickly. It turned out I was the granddaughter of the Gu family, the wealthiest family. My mother, Gu Qingyi, is the youngest and most beloved daughter of the wealthiest man, Gu Cheng. Back then, my mother defied her family's opposition to marry a poor man. It was only after giving birth to me that she discovered my scoundrel of a father was a worthless person. She exhausted every ounce of her strength to escape that household and seek help from my grandfather. However, when she returned with people to pick me up, she found that I had already been sold to human traffickers by my grandmother, who favored boys over girls. All these years, my mother never gave up searching for my whereabouts. She traveled to many places, but in the end, she always returned empty-handed, on her journey to find me. She witnessed too many girls being forced to drop out of school early to marry or work. Because of this, she established scholarships and financial aid programs in many schools, hoping to do her part in helping girls from impoverished families break free from their shackles and step into a new life. Mom said she had a selfish motive. She was afraid I might become one of the sacrificed in some corner of this world, if I ever faced that day. She hoped there would be kind-hearted people around to lend me a hand. Mom really did it. Mom held me tightly, sobbing uncontrollably. I remember the summer of my 3rd year of junior high, when I worked at a small restaurant during the day and slept in the cramped storage room after closing at night. The room was hot and stuffy, with mosquitoes buzzing in my ears. Staring at the ceiling, I once thought my life was over. But not long after, I received a call from the school's admissions office. Thanks to my excellent grades, I was awarded a substantial scholarship, which gave me the chance to continue my studies. At the time, I didn't know that the gift from heaven was actually from my mother. It turns out fate had already tied me and my mother together back then. I hugged my mom back, feeling genuinely happy and proud from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for never giving up, Ms. Gu Qingyi is amazing. My mom is amazing too. That evening, Mom took me back to the old Gu family home. Since she still had to attend a meeting out of town, she hurriedly left to catch her flight after asking Grandpa to take care of me. Grandpa was a stern-looking little old man who seemed serious and unsmiling, but he couldn't help but tear up when he hugged me. Welcome home, my dear girl. After saying that, Grandpa handed me an unlimited black card, telling me to spend freely and buy whatever I wanted. Just as I was about to open my mouth to thank him, I was interrupted by a voice. Old man. You're being unfair. I looked up and saw a tall, handsome guy with blonde hair walking down the stairs. The moment our eyes met, I realized this person looked somewhat familiar. It came back to me. I had seen him among Sister Hong's group of rebellious girls. I nervously touched the scar on my arm from a cigarette burn. The already healed wound inexplicably began to ache faintly. Before he could even approach, Grandpa's cane swung out without mercy, but he reacted quickly. Sidestepping easily to dodge it, Grandpa glared at the blonde-haired boy with annoyance. I told you to come down and wait 10 minutes ago, and you're still dawdling. This is your aunt's daughter. Yeah, come over quickly and say hello to your cousin. When he turned to face me, my grandfather's loving expression returned. This kid is Gu Sinan, your uncle's son. He's a sophomore in high school, attending the same school as you. From now on, Grandpa will have him protect you. This kid may be a bit rough around the edges, but he's more than capable of being a bodyguard. What kind of good person could possibly hang out with Sister Hong? The wound on my arm seems to hurt even more. I politely declined. Grandpa, there's no need to trouble yourself. I can take care of myself. The first hour after Mom left, I miss her. When Mom comes back from her business trip, I'll ask her if I can move out of the old house. Explain the reasons clearly to her. And she will definitely understand me. Exactly. She's not a 3-year-old child who needs me to look after her. I'm even a year younger than her. Do you understand respecting the elderly and caring for the young? Why don't you ask her to take care of me? Grandpa shot another sharp glare. Do you even know you're the younger brother? Where are your manners? Did you even greet anyone? Do you still want your card back or not? That last line was the final blow. The blonde guy's expression froze, and then he reluctantly spoke up. Sis, hello. This greeting might as well not have been given. His chilly gaze made my heart race. I forced a fake smile at the corner of my mouth and quietly took a step back, putting some distance between myself and the blonde guy. Grandpa, I'm a bit tired, so I'll head back to my room to rest. You should rest early too. See you tomorrow. All right. See you tomorrow. After saying that, without caring about politeness, I quickly went upstairs and returned to my room. Only when I sank my entire body into the soft mattress did I completely relax. The barrage of comments in front of me also became lively again. Hilarious. As soon as the little sister closed her door, the old man downstairs immediately started lecturing the school bully. The school bully was caught off guard and took a solid hit from the stick. The kid really got hit hard. Ha ha ha. One thought he'd dodge. The other never expected to actually strike. School bully bro. For my peanuts, he deserved it for being so sharp-tongued. Didn't you see my girl's face turn pale at the sight of him? Anyone who hangs out with Red Sister can't be a good person. Seriously, how can anyone feel sorry for a guy like that? We just got rid of a bunch of scumbag moms, and now here comes another one. What bad luck. Hey, no need to be so angry. School bully bro is just tough. He never starts trouble and wouldn't even look twice at trash like Red's sister. She's the one who keeps trying to suck up to him, and he doesn't even give her a glance. To the 1-2 comments above, if you knew he's been searching for the female lead in his own way all these years, you wouldn't be cursing him. He's just stubborn with his words, but his heart isn't bad. Since the Gu family only had a few scattered photos of the female lead from when she was just a month old, he specifically searched for photos of the female lead's mother from her teenage years and cast a wide net. Anyone who provided clues about similar appearances was rewarded, and he never boasted about it in front of his family. He was also afraid of disappointing the female lead's mother, so whenever he found someone with a similar appearance, he quietly arranged for a paternity test to be done. If I'm lying, may I never get rich in this lifetime, and in the next life, let me be reborn in India. If you're going to swear like that, then I believe you. Ha 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 ha, that's such a harsh oath. I believe you too. It seems I've misjudged Brother Huang Mao. If I get the chance to see him tomorrow, I'll thank him then. So much happened today that I quickly drifted off to sleep. I slept soundly through the night without any dreams. Feeling completely refreshed, after finishing breakfast downstairs, my grandfather arranged for the family doctor to give me another thorough checkup. Only after confirming that I was fine did he allow me to go to school with Blondie. The back seat of the car was filled with silence. Blondie kept his head down, playing on his phone. Seeing that he was busy, I didn't want to disturb him, so I took the opportunity to start silently memorizing English vocabulary. Because I was so focused on my vocabulary book, I missed the occasional resentful glances cast my way from beside me. When we arrived at the school gate, Blondie was the first to get out of the car. He got off the car and rushed straight ahead, not even noticing that the ointment in his pocket had been left on the seat. It seems that the blow from Grandpa last night was indeed quite heavy. Sure enough, before he had taken a few steps, he slowed down his pace. I picked up the ointment and wanted to chase after him to give it to him, but suddenly someone grabbed my wrist. Jiang Yu, where did you run off to yesterday? Do you have any idea how long I've been looking for you? I looked at the furious Chi Yu in front of me, utterly baffled, not understanding what he was so angry about. Perhaps it was because I had learned from the barrage of comments that he was a despicable person. The slight admiration I once had for him, due to his excellent grades and composed demeanor, had long since shattered into pieces. Just like the person he is, I looked at him as if he were a fool, waiting for him to continue, as if wounded by my straightforward gaze, his eyebrows furrowed so tightly they could have crushed a fly. Jiang Yu, you don't actually think that just because you got first place in this joint exam, you're really the best, do you? If I hadn't deliberately let you win by leaving the last big math problem blank, do you think you could have beaten me? Deliberately let me win. Exactly, you let me win on purpose. You definitely didn't hand in your paper early just to take Lu Sini to the infirmary. Right after the exam that day, one of Lu Sini's followers deliberately announced this loudly in front of me, trying to humiliate me and see me break down. What a joke, those two crazy lovebirds are locked in for good. Hearing this, the person who had just been filled with anger actually reined in his temper, his tone helpless. Jiang Yu, can you stop getting jealous and throwing a tantrum over every little thing? Sini isn't as unreasonable as you. You really have a princess complex without the princess life. What a coincidence. I really am a genuine princess, through and through. Seeing that I didn't speak, Chiyu thought I had been manipulated by him. First you slander her, then you skip class. Isn't it all just to get my attention? Here we go again. Here we go again. The habit of not listening to others and talking to himself is back. The school gate was bustling with people, and many students had already stopped to watch the commotion. After all that talk, can you just get lost? As soon as I finished speaking and turned to leave, a backpack flew past me the next second, hitting Chiyu squarely. Chiyu staggered backward from the impact, barely managing to steady himself. Gasps of shock echoed all around. What the hell are you babbling about over there? The blonde guy, who had originally walked away, had somehow turned back. He picked up the school bag from the ground and gave Chiyu, along with the surrounding classmates who were watching the commotion, a cold glance. She's under my protection. He glared fiercely at Chiyu, his tone hostile. If I see you or anyone else bullying her again, I'll teach you a lesson with my fists. After saying that, he pulled me away. Although the line was a bit cringy, this cheap little brother is still pretty decent. I won't secretly call him Blondie anymore. Thank you, little brother. This is the first time ever someone has stood up for me. That was really cool. I gave him a big thumbs up. The guy who had been acting all cool and aloof now looked a bit awkward. Clearly happy but trying hard to suppress the corners of his mouth from curling up, he stubbornly said, "Well, I just can't stand that kind of arrogant guy. He's such a weakling. I don't know where he gets his confidence from, not forgetting to show off his muscles and fists in a rather Chinibu manner. If he dares to bother you again, remember to call me." I smiled, nodded in agreement, and handed him the ointment he had just left in the car. "Remember to apply the medicine. A real man doesn't need to apply medicine for such a minor injury," saying no with your mouth. But not hesitating at all when taking it over, the high school sophomore building was a bit further inside. After saying goodbye to Gu Sinan in the hallway, I went straight to the classroom. As expected, my desk was a complete mess, books torn apart, and the desk and chair covered in some unknown liquid. I glanced around at my classmates in the classroom. Some were whispering, while others wore expressions of amusement. If it were any other time, I would have had to swallow this injustice on my own. But now it's different. For the sake of my fellow bullet comment sisters and my own well-being, isn't it just about using power to pressure others? Who doesn't know how to do that? When I returned to the classroom after making a phone call in the hallway, the class bell rang. The first class was math, taught by our homeroom teacher, CIE. After entering the classroom, he glanced at me standing at the back and frowned with displeasure. "Class has already started. Why aren't you back in your seat? Have you no respect for classroom discipline?" At that moment, everyone in the classroom turned their gaze toward me. "Are you blind? Can't you see that seat is clearly not fit for sitting?" CIE has always been blind and heartless. Famously known for caring only about money, he always turned a blind eye to the unfair treatment and bullying I suffered in class, and would even gaslight me from time to time, telling me to look for the reasons within myself. It was also from the bullet comments that I learned that CIE was actually Lu Sini's cousin. As a graduate from a no-name university in the middle of nowhere, he was able to land a job at our top-tier school right after graduation, all thanks to Lu Sini asking Chi Yu for help. As Lu Sini's lapdog, he naturally went out of his way to torment me to please his master, but I couldn't quite figure it out. With Lu Sini's vain personality, she would never associate with poor relatives from her hometown, so why was she so closely connected to this CIE? CIE never expected me to confront him so directly. He was stunned for a moment before snapping back to reality, his face flushed with anger as he pointed at me and started shouting, "Have you lost your mind, you ill-mannered brat? Have you thrown all sense of propriety and shame to the dogs? Don't think just because you have good grades you can disrespect your elders. You got lucky this time and came in first. Don't start thinking you're some big shot." Perhaps because I had publicly embarrassed him, the more he thought about it, the angrier he became. He picked up the insulated cup beside him and hurled it at me. However, his strength was lacking, and his aim was off. Not only did he fail to hit me, but the spilled hot water drenched the students sitting in the front row. Those who could sit in the front row were the young masters and ladies who regularly offered him tribute and showed him respect. At this moment, they were howling in pain from the scalding. He could no longer spare a thought for me and hurriedly called for the school doctor to come over. Taking advantage of his distraction, I weighed the warm milk in my hand, found the right angle, and threw it with all my strength. Crack! The bag of milk exploded right in his face, giving him a milk bath. Tit for tat, the once lively classroom fell silent for a moment, then it completely exploded into chaos. "Jiang Yu, you're really something." After being shamed into anger, he started spewing a stream of profanities, hurling everything on the lectern at me all at once. It's just a pity for the students in the front row again. I watched him silently as he raged in helpless fury, shaking my head in resignation. "Look at yourself. Where is the dignity befitting a teacher?" Furious, he stepped down from the podium to grab me. Just then, the classroom door was pushed open from the outside. After clearly seeing who had arrived, CIE immediately stepped forward to lodge a complaint. "Principal Lin, you've come at just the right time. Look at all this milk on me. This Jiang Yu not only has no respect for teachers but also resorts to violence. I can't teach such an ill-mannered student. I suggest expelling her." "Shut up." Principal Lin's expression turned grim as he sternly said, "Get out of here right now. This class will be self-study for the rest of the period." Perhaps because his ears were still clogged with milk, CIE clearly hadn't grasped the situation and continued to gloat. "Jiang Yu, hurry up and get out." As soon as he finished speaking, he was stunned by a slap from Principal Lin. Immediately after, the back door of the classroom was pushed open, and staff members brought in a brand new set of desks, chairs, and textbooks, placing them in my original spot. Principal Lin beamed with a smile. Jiang Yu, we will thoroughly investigate the situation you reported. Please attend class for now, and if you need anything else, let me know promptly. Thank you, Principal. The school's progress was still quite swift during the morning break. Xie Yi had already been publicly announced and dismissed by the entire school for bribery and academic misconduct. After a morning of the incident unfolding, rumors about me were everywhere in the school, especially after Gu Xinan came to my class at noon to invite me to have lunch together in the cafeteria. The rumors about me abandoning Qiyu after a brief fling grew even more rampant. Everyone said I had dumped Qiyu to climb the social ladder by attaching myself to Gu Xinan. The few followers in the class who used to help Lu Xini bully me have finally quieted down. I'm enjoying the peace and can't be bothered to explain. When school ended in the afternoon, I waited for Gu Xinan in the classroom. The previously quiet barrage of comments suddenly became lively again because of one sentence. Have you noticed that Maybao keeps looking up and spacing out from time to time? Now that you mention it. I noticed it too when I rewatched it yesterday. It seems to have started ever since she was cornered in the bathroom. Could it be that my girl can see the comments? Maybe my heartfelt cries have moved the heavens. Fly bravely, my girl, your mom fans will always be with you, mom loves you. After seeing this comment, I instinctively nodded. Is the female lead Bao Gang nodding? Am I seeing things? I saw it too. Oh my god, why do I feel like crying so much? Seeing this, I quickly took out paper and pen, wrote a thank you note, showed it to them, and sincerely expressed my gratitude. Thank you. The comments section exploded. Countless bullet comments flashed past my eyes so quickly that I couldn't even make out their content. Gradually, the content of the bullet comments began to be replaced by asterisks. Only one bullet comment was spared from the asterisks. Sports equipment room, help. Before I could take a closer look, all the bullet comments in front of me vanished in the blink of an eye. When I arrived at the sports equipment room, I happened to see Sister Hong and her group walking out. After they had gone far enough, I emerged from the bushes and quickly approached the equipment room. After unlocking the door and pushing it open, I saw a girl indeed trembling and huddled in the corner. 5 or 6 cigarette butts were carelessly tossed onto the dark green cushion beside them, the lingering embers having already burned several large black holes into the fabric. I quickly gathered the cigarette butts and then led the girl out of the equipment room. Don't be afraid, it's okay now. The girl sobbed while intermittently expressing her gratitude. Seeing the bruises on her arm, I decided to accompany her to the infirmary first. Unexpectedly, just a few steps out, we ran into Sister Hong and her group. Well, I was just wondering where you were. Turns out you're here playing the hero. Perfect, saves me the trouble of hunting you down. Today, we'll settle both old and new scores. The girl who had been sobbing beside me suddenly fell silent, then forcefully pulled me behind her. What do you want? I'm telling you, security will be here any minute. Her voice was hoarse, and her hand holding mine trembled uncontrollably, yet she stood firmly in front of me. Sister Hong scoffed lightly, clearly unconvinced. Those cigarette butts on the mats in the equipment room were thrown by you, weren't they? I've just called security to come and check for safety hazards. They should be here any minute now. Upon hearing my words, the group that had been itching to act began to hesitate, perhaps because she had suffered a loss at my hands yesterday. Sister Hong only hesitated for a moment before deciding to take the risk. Instead of wasting time listening to your nonsense here, I could have already taught you a harsh lesson. She coldly glanced at her underlings. We get paid to do the job. That's only right. If anyone doesn't want to act, then spit out the money Miss Lu gave you. Don't dawdle here. This Lu Xini is really like a lingering ghost. Are you really going to choose to oppose Gu Xinan for the sake of Lu Xini? I raised my voice and questioned loudly. He'll be here soon. Are you really sure about this? I had sent him a message before leaving the classroom, asking him to come find me. He should have arrived by now. Sister Hong. This morning at the school gate. I personally heard young Master Gu say he's got this girl's back. Wouldn't it be a bit much if we turn around and cause trouble for her right away? After one person spoke up, others gradually chimed in with their agreement. Seeing that everyone was backing down, Sister Hong's face grew darker and darker. Seeing this, I quietly wrote the word, run, in the girl's palm. You shameless woman, not only did you seduce Chi Yu, but you also set your sights on young Master Gu. 3. I'm going to ruin that face of yours today. 2. Let's see what you'll use to act so shamelessly in the future. Run. I grabbed the girl beside me, pushed through the crowd, and took off running. Just as I reached the main road, I ran headlong into Gu Sinan, who had come looking for me. I stopped to catch my breath. Still pointing frantically behind me, Gu Sinan muttered a curse under his breath, then led his crew forward with an intimidating air. After resting for a while and finally catching my breath, I then noticed that the girl beside me looked somewhat familiar. I remembered. Su Anil, the bullet comments said she was Chi Yu's biological younger sister and would also become my close friend in the future. Perhaps it was the bond of fate, but the two of us instantly became close, chatting and talking as if we were old friends who had known each other for years. After sending Su Anil to the infirmary to have her wounds treated and arranging for the family driver to take her home, I turned back to find Gu Sinan. When I arrived, I saw Sister Hong tied up with a rope and hanging upside down from a tree, her entire body soaked except for her feet. Directly beneath her was a large green trash can, and the air around was filled with the foul stench of garbage mixed with water. Seeing me approach, Gu Sinan grinned and said, "Sis, it stinks here. Why don't you wait for me in the car first?" There was no trace of the fierce and menacing demeanor from just moments ago when he was lecturing others. I shook my head and refused. Revenge is only satisfying when you take it yourself. I took the rope from his underling and let go of my hand. The woman tied to the other end, Red Sister, plummeted straight into the trash can, perhaps due to the repeated up and down movements, even though she struggled desperately inside the can. She couldn't splash much water at this point. Seeing that it was about time, I threw the rope. "All right, let her down." Sister Hong, having regained her freedom, practically crawled and scrambled to my side, but before she could get close, Gu Sinan kicked her away. "Stay away from my sister, you're disgusting." She lay on the ground, apologizing and begging for mercy, shifting all the blame onto Lu Sini. "Miss Jiang, I was blind and didn't recognize Mount Tai. You are magnanimous. Please spare me." It was all that bitch Lu Sini. It was her. It was all her. She gave me more money at noon today, asking me to ruin you. Oh, and that teacher was there too, the one who got fired this morning. I don't know how the two of them got together, but that teacher even brought in some people from the streets, saying they wanted to finish you off. You know she's backed by the Chi family, so I didn't dare refuse. I've handed all the evidence to young Master Gu. Please let me off this time. I promise I'll never appear before you again. Gu Sinan handed me his phone, filled with all the evidence sent by Sister Hong, videos, audio recordings, photos, and chat logs. Everything was there. "Oh, so you're not coming to bother me anymore. Are you planning to lock some other classmate named Shang Yu or Lu Yu in the bathroom or somewhere else to vent your anger? If that's the case, you might as well come find me instead. After all, we're quite familiar with each other." She shook her head vigorously, like a rattle drum. No, I know I was wrong, and I promise I'll never bully my classmates again. I swear, if I ever bully a classmate again, may I die a horrible death. Please, let me go." By the end, she couldn't hold back her tears, clearly still shaken by Gu Sinan's earlier scare. The goal has been achieved. I hope she can turn over a new leaf from now on. That night, someone anonymously posted a thread titled, "You're Next," on the school forum. The post content is only a single line long. "Xie, Sister Hong." This post was pushed to the top of the trending list in less than 10 minutes. Although the post was deleted that night, many people had already seen it and taken screenshots, causing it to spread like wildfire among classmates. That night, my phone received several apology text messages. The next day when I went to the classroom, my desk was covered with brand new school bags and stationery. The girls who had previously helped Lu Sini bully me all came to bow and apologize, begging for my forgiveness. I have accepted all the school supplies they compensated and placed them in the school's kindness corner. But forgive, that is unforgivable. Of course, I didn't have time to get tangled up with them either. The joint exam is approaching, and I cannot afford to slack off. I immerse myself in the ocean of knowledge every day, eagerly absorbing nutrients, and my daily relaxation time is listening to Gu Sinan vent. What he vents about the most is undoubtedly that crazy couple, Lu Sini and Chi Yu. Ever since Gu Sinan posted that thread last time, Lu Sini has been constantly afraid of being confronted. Classmates who know the truth are unwilling to stay with her for fear of getting into trouble, so aside from class time, she was practically inseparable from Chi Yu on a daily basis. Despite all the precautions, Gu Sinan still found opportunities to secretly prank and scare her several times, but without any evidence, Chi Yu could do nothing but rage helplessly. As a result, Lu Sini now even asks Chi Yu to accompany her to the restroom. having a sword hanging over your head all the time must be quite uncomfortable. But this is what she deserves, perhaps because I no longer have any worries. I felt more relaxed during this joint exam than ever before. After the exam, it was time to deal with Lu Cini, that spineless homeroom teacher Xie, who used to be Lu Cini's lapdog, was tied up by Gu Sinan and taught a lesson. He spilled everything in less than 10 minutes, just as the bullet comments had said earlier. The accidental disappearance of Qi Yu's younger sister, Qi Yuan, was all the doing of Lu Cini's entire family, Lu Cini's mother, Wang Ting, and Xiaoyi's mother, Wang Xia. Worked together from inside and out to make the child appear lost, then turned around and sold the child to a couple who couldn't have children, Su Annal's adoptive parents. Ever since the incident in the equipment room last time, Su Annal and I have become close friends, so I didn't plan to hide the truth about her origins from her. According to her adoptive parents, back then, Su's mother and Wang Xia worked in the same factory. One day, Wang Xia suddenly asked if they wanted a baby, saying that her brother-in-law was seriously ill and her sister had no choice but to give away their baby girl in exchange for a way to survive. Wang Ting, as a nanny in the Qi family, often helped take care of the children, and Qi Yuan was very close to her. In addition, Su's parents had previously happened to see Wang Ting taking Lu Cini to visit Wang Xia, so they knew that Wang Ting indeed had a daughter. Therefore, Su's parents never even considered the possibility of human trafficking. After learning the truth, they handed over the signed and sealed documents from that year, along with the evidence we had gathered, to the police. The day after the exam happened to be Qi Yu's birthday. As usual, the Qi family held a grand birthday banquet for him, with nearly half of the upper-class circle in attendance. In the banquet hall, Lu Cini was surrounded by a group of classmates who were showering her with compliments. She was dressed up like a peacock, and the sparkling jewelry around her neck and wrists suddenly looked tacky beneath her haughty, condescending expression. As soon as she saw me, she couldn't wait to come over and show off while mocking me. "Classmate Jiang, what are you doing here? I don't remember you inviting you." First, she pretended to be surprised, then put on an understanding and considerate act. "You should have told us in advance if you really wanted to come. That way, I could have helped you prepare a decent dress. Instead of looking so casual and embarrassing like this." Casual, according to my grandfather, this cheongsam I'm wearing was personally hand-stitched by a master of Su embroidery, and it's the only one of its kind in the world. The group of people who had just been surrounding her swarmed over to help mock me. "Jiang, you really sticks to young Master Qi like a piece of gum, can't even shake her off. How shameless." "Exactly, looking so shabby and poor." I don't know where she got the courage to compare herself with our Cini. Young Master Qi isn't blind. Lu Cini thoroughly enjoyed these compliments, proudly raising an eyebrow at me. "I won't trouble Miss Lu to worry about me. However, if Miss Lu truly has such a kind heart, she should spend more time being filial to her own mother. It's fine to be generous to friends, but don't forget your own mother. After all, in this world, each time we meet, there's one less chance to see each other again. I can't speak for others, but Miss Lu, you must truly cherish it." Following my gaze, everyone saw the middle-aged woman cleaning up the glass fragments not far away. Damn, she really does look quite similar. Is that cleaning lady really her mother? Wasn't it said that Lu Cini is a distant relative of the Qi family? The version I heard is that she's the daughter of Mrs. Qi's close friend and has been living with the Qi family since she was little. It probably isn't her mother, right? I've been in the same class as Lu Cini and Qi Yu since elementary school, and I remember it was always Mrs. Qi who attended parent-teacher meetings for Lu Cini. Lu Cini's face flushed bright red, all traces of her earlier composure completely gone, her fingers unconsciously twisted together, her nails almost digging into the flesh of her palms. Just then, Mr. and Mrs. Qi happened to pass by. Lu Cini seemed to suddenly find her anchor, intimately linking arms with Mrs. Qi and acting coquettishly. Seeing this, everyone glared at me, the instigator of the rumors, with disgust. I pretended not to notice and greeted Mr. and Mrs. Qi as usual. "Hello, uncle and auntie." Both of them were very warm as soon as they saw me. "Just heard from the old man that you and Xiao Yu are studying at the same school. If there's anything you don't understand or can't handle, don't hesitate to ask that kid for help. If he dares not to help you, uncle and aunt will definitely teach him a lesson and stand up for you." I obediently agreed, ignoring the surprised looks around me, and pretended not to understand as I pointed at Lu Cini and asked, "Is this the Yuanyuan sister that Grandpa Qi mentioned?" Chi-Yuan is 1 year younger than Chi-Yu, and her nickname is Yuan. Less than a month after Yuan went missing, the nanny Wang Ting brought her daughter Lu Xini, who was about the same age, to live together at the Qi residence, perhaps out of guilt, and also because Lu Xini truly knew how to please the elders. Over the years, the Qi parents had almost treated Lu Xini, the nanny's daughter, as their own. Those involved are often blind to the truth. Over the years, the Qi family had never once suspected the nanny's family. A fleeting look of desolation crossed the faces of the Qi couple as they shook their heads in denial. I looked apologetic. So which family's younger sister is this? I just heard someone call her Miss Lu. Is she from the Lu family in the southern part of the city? Under the curious gazes of those around, Mrs. Qi couldn't bear to let Lu Xini lose face. She vaguely explained, Xini has been living with the Qi family, so she's practically like a daughter to me. Oh, no wonder I've often heard classmates say that Chi-Yu has a childhood sweetheart he's going to marry someday, so it's Miss Lu. As soon as I finished speaking, Mr. Qi immediately denied it. What childhood sweethearts? That's all nonsense. Realizing his outburst, Mr. Qi cleared his throat lightly to cover his embarrassment. Xiaoyu, Xini is the daughter of our housekeeper, Aunt Wang. Xiaoyu has always treated her like a little sister. Please don't misunderstand. The atmosphere became somewhat awkward for a moment. I smiled warmly and looked at Lu Xini, her face drained of all color, and the gazes of the classmates around her felt like nails, pinning her firmly to the pillar of shame. Everyone's attention was now focused on Lu Xini, so no one noticed that, while we were chatting, Aunt Wang had been lingering not far behind Lu Xini the entire time. I turned my head and happened to meet that venomous gaze. She was quietly approaching, still holding the pile of glass shards she had just gathered. Miss Lu, your mother is here. Lu Xini's body moved faster than her mind could react. Just as I expected, she abruptly turned and blocked Aunt Wang with her body, but Aunt Wang clearly hadn't anticipated this. The glass shards in her hand had already been accidentally thrown by her. If it weren't for Lu Xini acting as a human shield, these shards would have been hurled directly toward where I was standing. Unfortunately, there are no ifs. The glass shards flew almost straight toward Lu Xini's face. Moments later, agonized screams echoed through the banquet hall. Panic-stricken, Aunt Wang held Lu Xini tightly, repeatedly crying out for help. The ambulance hadn't arrived yet, but the police car came first. Under everyone's watchful eyes, Auntie Wang was forcibly taken away by the police. At this point, the birthday party was completely ruined. After the holiday ended, I once again threw myself into intense studying, exams, competitions, parties, busy yet fulfilling, and by the time I had a moment to myself, the new year was already approaching. I heard that Lu Xini was driven out of the Lu family and sent back to her hometown. For her sake, Qi defied his elders, skipped classes, and even played truant, turning the Qi family upside down and becoming the laughingstock of the entire upper-class circle. Seeing his once outstanding grandson reduced to such a state because of a woman with questionable character, old Master Qi was so furious that he ended up in the hospital. Although he lost a grandson, gaining a clever and thoughtful granddaughter was still something to be very happy about. At the family recognition banquet, the old master didn't mind the effort, personally taking Qi Yuan around to greet the elders from various families. Qi Yuan's excellence is evident to all. To secure her footing in the Qi family, all she lacks is time. Coincidentally, a fool came rushing to deliver it. Because Qi Yu was simply too outrageous, he had already been forcibly sent abroad by the Qi family, probably afraid he would embarrass them. They didn't even let him attend Lian Qiyuan's family recognition banquet. In a few more years, who would still remember that Qiyuan who went crazy everywhere? Qi could also be Qiyuan's Qi. This is a gift from heaven to Qiyuan, and I believe she will certainly not disappoint. After hearing the first story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's continue to see. Married a rich man, but he doesn't love me. Feeling a bit tired, planning to get a divorce. When handing over the divorce papers, I heard his inner thoughts. If my wife really likes that one who can dance, we can bring him over and live together. I'll hold back for now and learn from him. Damn green tea. Can his waist be removed and attached to me? He's so good at twisting it. I suddenly froze all over. He really has no shame. The next sentence nearly scared me to death on the spot. So annoying. Why can't men get pregnant? Maybe I should pretend. That way I could tie down the child's mother. While the man on my phone was dancing up a storm, Zhou Yanjian was still sitting on the sofa, buried in his work, steady as a rock, unmoved. I really felt it was pointless, so I walked up to him and said, "Let's get a divorce." Zhou Yanjian's hands paused on the keyboard. "What did you just say?" I didn't quite catch it. He looked up, staring intently at me. I handed him the divorce agreement, looking into his eyes as I repeated. I said, "Let's get a divorce." It's all quite pointless. Zhou Yanjian's hands, resting on his knees, tightened for a moment before returning to normal. His eyes fell on the divorce agreement. His voice a bit hoarse. "In a couple of days. The company hasn't been very stable these past few days." I didn't press him, just shoved the divorce agreement toward him. "All right, take a look at it first. If there's anything that doesn't seem right, just say so." With that, I settled back on the couch and continued scrolling through videos of men shaking their hips, gradually getting a bit flushed. I mean, seriously, how can they move so well? Sigh, I'm so envious, thinking this. I secretly glanced at Zhou Yanjian. Back when we got married, I was just as envious of him. Broad shoulders, narrow waist. Just looking at him gets me excited. Actually, I'm still craving it now. But it doesn't matter, I can find 8 others to dance in front of me. Ha ha ha. Just as I was immersed in the joy of my imagination, I suddenly heard a voice. My wife just looked at me. "Is there still a chance to make up? I don't want a divorce." If we divorce, I won't have a wife anymore. I'll be a poor little baby that no one wants. Woo woo, these words, why do they sound so off? My entire forehead is practically etched with huge question marks. That was Zhou Yanjian's voice just now. It's just not quite the same as usual. It's way too clingy. I looked at him curiously. The person was still typing on the computer. I must have misheard, but then the sound started again. My wife has been watching a man dancing on her phone all this time. Woo woo, I'm a sad little baby now. Zhou Yanjian. It's okay, you have to be strong, your wife is still yours. If my wife really likes that guy who can dance, we can bring him over to live with us, but I have to be the main wife. Alright, being the side wife is fine too. At worst, I'll endure it for now and learn from him. His voice suddenly sounded a bit angry. Damn green tea bitch, can his waist be taken off and put on me? He's so good at twisting it. Was that really a sound he made? He really has no shame, seriously. I don't want a divorce. What if my wife brings it up again in a couple of days? This is so annoying. Why can't men get pregnant? Maybe I should fake it. That way, the child could tie her down. Hee, mega, I'm such a genius. Wait, why does his voice sound more and more cheerful as I listen? I noticed the curve of his lips, certain that it reflected his true feelings. Damn Zhou Yanjian, you dare to make it up. But I wouldn't dare to believe it. He suddenly closed his laptop and sat down beside me somewhat awkwardly, his expression rather unnatural. Chodong. My scalp tingled a bit, and I quickly stood up, not daring to look at him. Ahem, I'm a bit tired, you should rest early. Then I hurriedly went upstairs. His inner thoughts were still chasing after me. Hey. I haven't finished what I wanted to say. I haven't even said the child I just made up yet. Next time, I'll act a bit weaker. She should believe it, right? Lying in bed, I still wondered how Zhou Yanjian fell in love with me. Actually, I'm not close to him at all. In my junior year of college, I started dating a guy named Su Huayan. That day, my best friend dragged me to a bar, and in the smoke-filled space, he was the one dancing most captivatingly. After that, I kept going back to watch him dance every now and then. Somehow, I ended up getting together with him, but the following year, he inexplicably fell for someone else, and we broke up. The year I graduated, my parents' company ran into trouble, leaving me with no choice but to consider an arranged marriage. The rich ones were ugly, and the handsome ones were players. Although marriage isn't about love, you shouldn't bring bad luck upon yourself either. Just when I was at my wit's end, Zhou Yanjian appeared, sitting calmly before me. The conditions he offered seemed to tempt me. I keep myself clean, I have money, and my allowance is unlimited. Miss Chen, would you consider it? The key is that he looks exactly like my type. In a moment of impulse, I agreed. We got married when I was 23, and it's been almost 2 years now. Apart from the occasional time in bed, we basically have zero communication, but it's true that he's always hanging around the house every day. The moment I wake up and open my eyes, it's Zhou Yanjian. Given the frequency of our interactions, it doesn't seem like we're falling in love. I let out an annoyed sigh. Should I get a divorce or not? After all, He helped my family. If I just divorce him, I'd seem like an ungrateful wretch. I've had enough. I feel sorry for myself. In my days, it felt like someone slipped into my bed, that warm temperature, no need to think. I knew it was Zhou Yanjian, after a long while. He placed my hand on his abdomen. Chodong, I am pregnant. Can we not get divorced? My brain, boom, exploded, but I continued to pretend to be asleep. My heart was just beating extremely fast. How am I supposed to reply to this? Should I let him rest and nurture the pregnancy in peace? Or should I say I'll take responsibility for him? This is truly a difficult problem. After a brief silence, Zhou Yanjian's inner thoughts also burst into bloom. Ah, does my wife think I'm a pervert? Why does saying, I'm pregnant, feel so embarrassing? I'll go find Qinian later to get a pregnancy test result, and then have him pretend with me. My wife should believe it, right? Should I first pretend to have symptoms of nausea for a couple of days? That would be more convincing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect pregnant women. I just wanted to keep my wife. Please forgive me, moi. I really couldn't take it anymore, so I pretended to be asleep and kicked him, this guy. Why does he talk so much? Can you block out inner thoughts while sleeping? It made my face feel hot and flustered. I eventually fell asleep amidst the clamor of my inner thoughts. I woke up a bit late the next day, and Zhou Yanjian had already gone to the company. I couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It was a good thing he wasn't there. Otherwise, I really wouldn't have known how to face him. As noon approached, my best friend Chi Jiu called me up to go out and have some fun. I didn't refuse. After all, she's always digging up some real eye candy, and it's truly a feast for the eyes. That woman waved her hand grandly, tousled her hair a couple of times, threw an arm over my shoulder, and started right in. Let me tell you, today's one is absolutely stunning. They really know how to move, the kind that makes you laugh in your dreams. I hesitated, still holding on to my principles as a wife. This isn't good. I'm married. Come on, I know you're dying to see. It's not like looking is a crime. Besides, don't you two not love each other? Hurry up and go in, sweetie. I really can't stand their hip thrusting at all. In the end, I reluctantly followed them inside. After all, I genuinely like it. Ha 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 ha. Chi Jiu waved his hand and ordered a whole row, and as soon as the music started, he began to dance. The translucent shirt faintly reveals his abdominal muscles. The corners of his eyes carry a seductive charm. His movements both alluring and provocative. I couldn't help but swallow my saliva, unable to hold back. I gave him a thumbs up. Truly worthy of you, absolutely amazing. She raised an eyebrow and took a sip of wine. Of course, tomorrow after closing the deal, I'll have them dance in your room. She really has the skills, but I don't have the guts. I also relaxed, took a sip of wine, and squinted as I watched them. What a pleasure. One of them twisted and turned their way toward me, doing a big wave right in front of me. Hiss, what a sight for sore eyes. Nice, I couldn't help but praise. But then, that person suddenly grabbed my hand and leaned in close, pulling down the mask. If a Chio likes me, I can dance for a Chio all night. The smile froze on my face. I could see clearly now. This man was my ex-boyfriend. Shaking him off, my expression changed. What are you doing here? I knew Ho would like it, so I waited here especially for her. As he spoke, he tugged at his translucent shirt, revealing glimpses of skin that were alluring in patches. Seeing that I didn't speak, he rubbed against my palm. I'll only dance for Ho alone. Okay. I withdrew my hand and looked at him coldly. I'm married. Su Huayan suddenly grew anxious. It's okay. I know Ho doesn't like him. I can be the third. No need. Remembering the past, I suddenly lost interest. Achoo. I was just about to get up when he suddenly collapsed into my arms, his hands still tightly gripping my waist. Before my brain could react, I was pulled into a strong embrace by a large hand. This is my wife. Please show some respect. Damn it. He hugged my wife's waist. I really want to chop his hands off. This is my wife's ex-boyfriend's white moonlight, so how can I turn the tables? But he really knows how to move. Does my wife like this type? Should I create a small account and learn from him? Sure enough, Su Huayan knew how to poke at old wounds. I was Akiu's first love, and she loved watching me move the most back in college. Besides, I'm younger than you. It's only natural that you can't satisfy her. Zhou Yanjian lifted me up by the waist. It's just 2 years older. I'm cleaner than someone. He weighed me in his arms, then turned and carried me away. There was also Su Huayan's voice from behind. Achio, Next time I'll cover my eyes and dance for you, okay? Remember to answer my phone call, sitting in the Rolls Royce. I was still pondering how to explain myself, but Zhou Yanjian was clearly more adept at it, angry. It was all him seducing my wife, almost completely undressed, shameless, damn green tea bitch, how can his waist twist so well? He's still stirring up trouble in front of my wife. What should I do if my wife falls for him again because of this? Can I ask my mom to put me back and give birth to me 3 years later? I'm younger than him, so my wife will definitely like me more. It's all my mom's fault. Alright, let's start singing. Fate. Why do you torment me like this? No, I must quickly win over my wife. I can't let her fall for someone else. He looked at me, his voice as calm as ever. Chudong. What would you like to eat tonight? Either is fine, then I'll have Aunt Zhang make braised pork ribs. I nodded. He curled his lips into a smile. Do I look much older than him? If my wife nods, I'll go get plastic surgery right away. I'll make myself look even younger than him. I choked on my own saliva. Stop, absolutely not. No, you look even more charming. His brow remained furrowed. Even more charming. That still sounds like I look old. Looks like I need to spend a bit more time at the gym every day. I silently glanced out the window. He's surprisingly sharp at reading comprehension. Aunt Zhang's braised pork ribs smelled amazing, and I was completely absorbed in devouring them. Zhou Yanjian looked around, then just kept staring blankly at the ribs. After hesitating for a moment, he finally put it in his mouth. His inner voice surfaced again. I've already gotten hold of the report from Chinian. What reason should I use to bring it up? If my wife finds out I have a child, she definitely won't look at anyone else. She won't divorce me either. Yay. Immediately after, he frowned, looking as if he was about to vomit. Ugh. No sooner said than done. The next second he covered his mouth and rushed into the kitchen. The faucet gushed loudly, followed by 3 more sounds in quick succession. My expression was truly indescribable. After hesitating for a long while, I still followed him in. I patted his back. Are you okay? He sensually touched his lips, then looked at me with reddened eyes. I quickly poured him a glass of water. Do you need to go to the hospital? He clutched the hem of his shirt. I had no choice but to continue humoring him. What's wrong? I'm pregnant. My hand, suspended in midair, paused. Silence, silence, and more silence. He actually dared to say it. This isn't a fictional world. Seeing that I didn't react, he seemed to grow anxious and quickly pulled out the test results to shove into my hand. Look quickly, Chinian personally issued them. Under his intense gaze, I had no choice but to open it. Truly shocking words that challenged my worldview. Name, Zhou Yanjian. Gender, male. Age, 27. Diagnosis, early intrauterine pregnancy. Approximately 31 days gestation. I held the report, feeling a bit like laughing, but I held it back. After all, he had put in quite the effort in his performance. Why isn't my wife saying anything? What will my wife say? Will she tell me to get an abortion? Can't even a child keep a mother from leaving? I was speechless for a moment. For a child to keep a mother from leaving, you have to have one first. How can you tie up something that's empty? He's starting again. Yet again, I finally broke through my mental barrier. Is it very uncomfortable, Chodong? He turned to look at me, looking utterly pitiful. He grabbed my hand and gently placed it on his lower abdomen. With downcast eyes and a low expression, he said, touch him. I was really at a loss. Neither letting go nor touching felt right. There's nothing inside. What is there to touch? Feces. Quite obedient. God knows how I managed to utter those words. His eyes visibly lit up with joy, pushing his luck further. Can we not get divorced? He needs a complete family. I nodded with difficulty. Yes, you. Take good care of the pregnancy. Get plenty of rest. Don't overexert yourself. He nodded. Yes, internally extremely happy. Damn it, I knew my wife would soften up. I succeeded. I've got a kid to tie my wife down. Ha ha ha. I'm such a genius. I knew my wife was soft-hearted. He. So happy. I have a kid. None of them can compare to me. Ever since Zhou Yanjian found out he had a kid, he's been acting more and more abnormal. His inner thoughts were getting more and more outrageous. I really want to hold my sweet, soft wife and sleep. My wife has been paying more attention to me lately. It must be because of the baby. Maybe I should ask Chinian if he can really let me have a baby. It feels like I could take advantage of his favor and act spoiled. That sounds pretty good. Even with a baby, I could still have some deep, intimate time with my wife. right, so annoying. I can't eat my sweet and soft wife. Maybe I should get rid of the baby someday. That way, my wife will feel sorry for me too, sorry. Little one, from being unable to understand to keeping a straight face, it only took a week. I've already gotten used to it. Zhou Yanjian said he couldn't show his face and has been holed up at home for a week now. Chodong, come here quickly. He called out from downstairs again. I hurried down the stairs. What's wrong? He touched his own belly. He's moving. I remember just a few days ago. He still had that air of an unattainable flower. But now, taking a deep breath, I followed his words and gently touched it. It's fine. I don't feel it moving. He pursed his lips. Maybe he knows you're here. Finally, he added, if you kiss him, he'll be even more well-behaved. Under his scorching gaze, I kissed his abdomen. Be good, leaving behind a bright red lipstick mark. Zhou Yanjian was overjoyed. Finally, when he called me for the 10th time in a single day, I completely lost my patience. Autumn and winter. I was truly furious. He moved again. Noticing that something was off with me, he hesitated for a moment, then nodded anyway. I was so angry I couldn't help but laugh. Zhou Yanjian, your body is truly different. You can even get pregnant, Zhou Yanjian said with grievance. I find it strange too. Do you think that report is credible? Zhou Yanjian's face turned deathly pale. Would you believe it if Qinian showed you a test result saying he's pregnant? His face turned another shade paler. Is this charade really necessary? A whole week, not even going to the office, just guarding that damn belly of his all day long. I was genuinely about to explode, feeling like if I didn't call him out, he could keep up this act for 10 whole months. My wife knew from the start. Woo, I'm just a joke, and I even pretended to have morning sickness. It must have been so hard for my wife to put up with my act for so long. My wife scolded me, and I deserve it. I deceived her. It's all my fault. Broken belly. Why can't you carry a baby? He looked up pitifully. I was wrong. I'll go to the company tomorrow. I didn't want to say more to him. This week really wore me out. I nodded casually and went back to my room. He's feeling down again. The baby's gone. Is my wife going to divorce me again? Wah, I think I'll just sleep at the office for a while. I didn't see Zhou Yanjian for half a month straight after that, but he came back every day, because I can hear his incessant, jumbled thoughts through the wall. For example, it's been so long since I've seen my wife. Can I see her today? Is my wife still angry with me? It's all this stupid brain's fault. What kind of lousy idea was I thinking back then? Now my wife won't even message me. Sigh. My wife must be at home again, watching those smelly men wiggling their waists and thrusting their hips, feeling sad and angry. I suddenly froze, staring at the man on my phone who was dancing with fiery enthusiasm. Hey, not gonna lie, Zhou Yanjian was pretty spot on about this, but I didn't pay it any mind, turned up the volume, and kept scrolling. Life was still pretty interesting, after all. Zhou Yanjian's thought process was truly unique, and sometimes it was genuinely hilarious. I hid under the covers, giggling non-stop. I even started sharing some of it with Chijiu. Fun, I can't keep it all to myself. Haha, that day, as usual, I was watching variety shows on the sofa. My phone buzzed with a flurry of messages. I glanced at it. They were from Su Huayan. As for why I didn't block him, it's because I was still weak back then, and I loved watching him sway his hips. He posted on his social media every day, and during the period right after the breakup, I checked it daily. I just lamented that he could no longer sway his hips in front of me. I ignored it, but he kept posting. Another glance. I noticed he sent a video. I couldn't resist clicking on it. A masterpiece, blindfolded, with a half-open shirt, surrounded by swirling smoke. He bit down on an iron chain and moved to the rhythm of the music. Broad shoulders, narrow waist, long legs. The way he twists is truly captivating. He sent a bunch of them, each with a different vibe. And I was completely mesmerized for a moment. So, you had time to watch your ex-boyfriend twist his waist, but couldn't send me a message for half a month. A deep, mellow voice whispered in my ear. My hand trembled slightly, and as I tilted my head, I saw Zhou Yanjian's handsome face magnified before me. His eyes were filled with a wounded expression. I only took a glance today. The music from the phone suddenly grew louder. In the past, winters were cold, summers brought rain and water. And in autumn, your voice came from afar, warming me. He lowered his gaze to my phone, catching a glimpse of Su Huayan blowing a kiss from afar. He seemed a bit dejected. I get it, you like this kind. I very perceptively raised my hand. I won't look at him anymore from now on, I promise. It's all his fault, that flirt. He's always trying to seduce my wife, with no good intentions. I'm going to start learning right away, once I master it. I'll definitely impress my wife. What the hell, even trying to steal my wife. I'll go and become his disciple, then use what he teaches me to defeat him. I opened my mouth, but in the end, I didn't say anything. Zhou Yanjian twisting his waist. Just thinking about it gives me the creeps. As a grand CEO, he probably just mulled it over in his mind. After that day, he came home on time every day. As soon as he returned, he would head straight to the gym, even through the wall. You could hear his complaints. I knew Su Huayan was a show-off, teaching nothing but indecent moves. Damn it, if my wife knew how much I've sacrificed, she'd be so moved. I'm definitely better at making my wife happy than he is. Listening to his inner thoughts while munching on sunflower seeds, I couldn't help but laugh, rubbing my hands together. How come? This is even more exciting, looking forward to it, bro. So when he came out of the gym, I greeted him with a bit of extra enthusiasm. Finished your workout for today? He drank a glass of water as usual, calm and composed. Yeah, after drinking, he hesitantly looked at me. I've been trying hard lately. Sweat rolled through his hair, hanging drop by drop at the tips. The beige shirt clung to his body, long soaked through with sweat. His full, firm chest muscles were impressively large, exuding a deadly allure, and for some reason, my face flushed with embarrassment. My wife noticed. I specifically showed her my chest muscles. My wife will like it, right? I looked at him in surprise, and he puffed out his chest again, like a proud goose. All right, great, it really caught my attention, but by nightfall, everything changed. As I was drifting off to sleep, I felt someone move. I didn't pay much attention, just turned over and went back to sleep. Less than 10 minutes later, the earth-shaking noise could be heard again, just on the other side of the wall. Woo-woo. Why can't I learn this? Why can everyone else twist? But I just can't. I'm really about to cry. If my stiff waist doesn't put in more effort, my wife really won't look at me anymore. I'm so upset. I even paid tuition. So why can't I learn it? So angry, so angry, so angry. Dead waist. You better twist. You better move. If you can't please my wife again, I'll kill you. This time, it started with a tearful tone again. Fate, why do you torment me like this? I really couldn't take it anymore. Taking a deep breath, I still got up, pushing the door open and turning on the light in one smooth motion, but words failed me. He was huddled in the corner of the bed, clutching the blanket, crying so pitifully with his back to the window. His eyes were rimmed with red, 2 hot tears slowly trickling from the corners. His nose was all red, so pitiful. The phone beside me was playing a video of Su Huayan swaying his hips. His eyes were wide open, staring at me with an expression of disbelief. After a long while, he finally began to react a little, fumbling to turn off the phone, then standing up straight and proper. What brings you here? Tears still hanging on the eyelashes, the lowered brows trembling slightly. Why did my wife suddenly come over? Will she not want me anymore if she sees me crying? Woo-woo. I don't want my wife to hate me. The sounds were all jumbled up, and I couldn't help but have a mischievous thought. I bent down and forced him to meet my gaze. Why are you crying? And just now, you were playing Su Huayan's video. As soon as the words fell, an earth-shattering sound erupted. My wife saw it. She saw it. My image, it's gone, completely, gone, nothing is left. He let out a sigh, awkwardly moving in front of me. Don't like Su Huayan, I'll dance for you too. I'm learning, nor do I want a divorce. I raised an eyebrow. I heard. Doesn't my wife have anything to say? Did she agree or not? Should I say something more? Maybe I should kowtow to my wife again. He reached out and clasped my wrist, gently pulling me into his embrace, his tone softening. Darling, I love you the most. Let's not get divorced, okay? I'll earn lots and lots of money, and in the future, I'll also dance for you blindfolded, okay? The atmosphere suddenly fell silent, my heart pounding rapidly. That was my voice. Mom, it seems like he's trying to seduce me. Swallowing hard, I turned and wrapped my arms around his neck, my heart filled with an indescribable emotion. Why do you like me? He buried his face in the crook of my neck and nuzzled gently. Because I like you. The sharp scent of sandalwood filled my nostrils, making me dizzy and unable to open my eyes. It seems like he might have drugged me. A large hand roamed the back of my neck, while the other gripped my leg, leaning in closer and closer. "Chodong, I want." His Adam's apple bobbed up and down, and as if bewitched, I leaned in. Zhou Yanjian let out a low groan and picked me up as if I were a child. By the bedside, he panted heavily. "Sweetheart, I'm amazing in bed." Then he leaned down and pressed over again. "Why do you like me?" Even though I could hear his inner thoughts, I still stubbornly clung to this question. The next moment, a pair of lips swallowed my words. Instead, it was the bed that kept shaking. The next day, he was refreshed and full of energy, while I was half dead. Before leaving, he kissed my forehead. "Be a good girl and pick me up after work tonight, okay?" My mind kept grumbling incessantly. Sigh, another day I don't want to go to work. How can my wife be so adorable? Her eyelashes are so long, her lips are so moist, and her cheeks are so pinchable. Hee, such a cute wife is mine. What should I do? I really want to tuck my wife into my pocket and take her to the office. He was just too noisy, so I kicked him and then nodded off drowsily. Finally, they're gone, so slow and dragging. I slept until the afternoon, got up to eat a meal, then played a few more rounds of games on the sofa, seeing that it was already 5 o'clock. I finally changed my clothes and went out. Just after parking the car, someone grabbed my wrist. "Achio, can we talk?" I frowned and pulled my hand away. "There's no need, my husband is waiting for me to pick him up. Aren't you curious why he likes you?" My steps halted. "You know." He took me to the coffee shop under his name, which was not far away. He calmly pushed the coffee toward me. "Try it, Akio." "No need. What do you know?" Su Huayan stirred his coffee. His clothes slightly transparent, his tone tinged with loneliness. "Akio, all these years, I've missed you so much." Feeling a bit irritated inside, I cut him off. "If you don't say it, I'm leaving." Su Huayan looked at me with hurt in his eyes, and when he saw the marks on my neck, his pupils trembled. He immediately grabbed my wrist. "Did you sleep with him?" I forcefully pried his hand away. "What's wrong with me and my own husband?" The next moment, he immediately changed his demeanor, grabbed my hand, and dragged me outside, laughing with a hint of madness. "It's gone, everything is gone, everything is over." My mind was a bit dazed. "What are you talking about?" He tied up my hands and feet, threw me into the car, and touched my face. "You're really pitiful, being played like a fool. I feel sorry too." His face was full of gloom. "Why can he succeed? Why is it me who fails? Why?" His words were a bit strange, and I didn't quite understand. "What do you mean?" He sneered and stomped on the accelerator. Some words are only truly painful when he says them himself. He drove the car to the edge of the cliff and dragged me out of the vehicle. Su Huayan grabbed me by the neck. "We're both players in this game, so why did he succeed while I had to die?" "Why?" Cough. "What are you talking about? Let her go." I saw Zhou Yanjian rushing over, looking weary and anxious. Su Huayan's hand kept tightening, and I was starting to feel breathless. Zhou Yanjian approached step by step. "Su Huayan, calm down, don't come any closer." Su Huayan shouted at him. "Okay, but don't come over, don't act impulsively." Ha! Su Huayan seemed to have gone mad, his originally handsome face twisting into a grimace. "Zhou Yanjian, we're both strategists, so why do you get to have her?" "Why? Ha 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 ha." He laughed so hard he trembled, then whispered in my ear. "Chin Chodong, you really are pathetic. Both of them are just here for the mission. Look at the man you chose. He doesn't love you either. At first, he didn't like you. It was the system deliberately numbing him, which is why he developed feelings for you." Thinking back on all those insincere sweet words, "Achio, don't you find them disgusting?" Ha! He gently smoothed my hair with utmost tenderness, yet the chill in his eyes was unmistakable. "Achio, why didn't you choose me? I was the one who met you first." I clenched my fist tightly, my nails digging into my palm. A chill in my heart slowly creeping upward, looking at the tense Zhou Yanjian. Is he a strategist? So those inner thoughts were also fake. I withdrew my gaze, masking my emotions. "Su Huayan, you were the one who betrayed this relationship first." "I didn't." He roared with all his might. Not far away, Zhou Yanjian immediately rushed over, bent down, and lifted me from Su Huayan's arms. "Don't be scared, sweetie, let's go home." Su Huayan pulled out a knife from somewhere, and I clearly felt Zhou Yanjian grunt in pain. He held me tightly and forced himself to walk step by step toward the exit. The police, who arrived belatedly, subdued Su Huayan. I watched as he spat out a mouthful of blood and then collapsed to the ground. he was dead. As soon as he placed me in the car, Zhou Yanjian collapsed on top of me. His back was covered in blood. Zhou Yanjian was taken to the hospital. He was not in critical condition, but he never regained consciousness. But I could hear his inner thoughts. What should I do? My wife knows I'm a strategist. Should I pretend to have amnesia, or maybe act mute? What should I do? Sigh, maybe I shouldn't worry about this for now. I'm so tired right now. It feels like I can't even wake up. But I really want to see my sweet, soft wife. What a tragedy, to run into such a lousy system. I want to kill him. It only gives a tiny bit of confusion value. I could just stab it to death. He was still chattering away, but I seemed to be tuning him out. Do you like me? Is it real or because of the system? Taking a deep breath, I slowly lift my head. My eyes feel a bit warm. Why am I crying again? Zhou Yanjian, please get better. I lowered my head and kissed his lips. Yay, my wife kissed me. My wife's lips are so sweet. I want more kisses. I couldn't help but pinch his cheek. There's no denying it. I've fallen for him. Chatty and clingy. It's always easy to make someone's heart flutter, but it's only because of the system. Suddenly, I feel a bit sad again. On the 7th day of his coma, Zhou Yanjian woke up. His face was still pale, but his eyes lit up when he saw me. Darling, I placed the porridge Aunt Zhang had made in front of him. Not looking at him, drink up. He obediently held the porridge and started drinking. I really want my wife to feed me, but she might get tired. Better let my wife feed me in bed. He. Watching him finish the drink slowly, I handed the agreement to him again. Now that you've finished, how about signing it? His face was dancing. His clenched hand was trembling uncontrollably, and he pressed his lips tightly as he looked at me. You still want to divorce me? I neither agreed nor disagreed. Fine. I was lying in bed thinking about the future, while my wife was at home plotting divorce. It was all in vain after all in vain. Fate, why do you torment me like this? He tore up the divorce agreement. We won't get divorced, sweetie. What's wrong with me? I can change. I took a deep breath, trying my best to stay calm. Are you a strategist? After a moment of silence, Zhou Yanjian nodded. When did it start? During your senior year of college. What is your purpose? Make you marry me, fall in love with me? My voice trembled. What if it fails? You'll die. Suddenly, I couldn't find any words of blame. Yes, death. It's understandable to come to win me over, but why do I feel so sad inside? It feels like a big hand is tightly gripping my heart, and I can hardly breathe. I suddenly smiled, my eyes misting over. Do you love me? He nodded without hesitation. I shook my head. Zhou Yanjian. It's the system, making you love me, that's all. He urgently grabbed my hand, his pale face turning tense. No, it's not like that. What Su Huayan said isn't true. With a long sigh, I pulled my hand away from his. Don't lie to me, I forgot to tell you. I can hear your thoughts. When you were unconscious, you mentioned something about a confusion value, which is why you felt moved. He froze for a moment. It felt like he was about to fall apart. What did you say, honey? You heard everything, not even a pair of underwear left. You heard everything. So my image is RUND. After a long while, he finally regained his composure and spoke with difficulty. The confusion value is real, but the actual usage is different. I don't quite understand. It's, he blushed, his voice as soft as a mosquito's. It's to make you like me. Ever since we got married, you've been so indifferent to me, so I asked the system to make you like me. For the first time, I don't know what to say. He wrapped his arms around my waist, his gaze burning as he looked at me. I like you, even without the system, I would only like you. My heart fell silent for a moment, then erupted into a frantic thump, thump, thump. It was mine. My heart is racing wildly. My wife has gone quiet again. Is my affection becoming a burden? But I just love my wife and want to be together. Crazy and close, darling, let's not separate, okay? But that's not fair to you. Although I can sense that my true heart is fond of Zhou Yanjian, I still feel it's unfair. What comes from external influences becomes no longer pure. He pinched my waist, as if sighing with emotion. Darling, matters of the heart aren't about fairness. The fact that you're willing to respond to me and like me is the greatest fairness I could ask for. Okay, we won't separate. It took me a long time to gather my thoughts before I finally lowered my head, cupped his face, and slowly leaned in to kiss him. After we talked things out, I gradually stopped hearing Zhou Yanjian's inner thoughts, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because this person just laid everything out on the table, all those vague insinuations. I couldn't just pretend not to hear them. He insisted on a response from me. Has it ever occurred to you that what he says is completely at odds with his own face? It's practically like fraud. His words are really dense. He even bought props himself and insisted on showing me his hip swaying. Have to admit, he sways quite well. Huff huff. This is getting a bit interesting, darling. Do you like it? He panted softly in my ear. I nodded eagerly, my face already hot enough to fry an egg. He chuckled softly, guiding my hand gently downward, repeating the same motion as before. The rhythmic movement made my fingers burn with heat. Do you like it? Honey, compared to the ones on your phone, and also. Am I still young? How's the experience? Honey, say something. I pulled my hand back. I like it. Young, good, perfunctory. He accused me. I didn't. He leaned over, swallowing my words, his large hand cupping my buttocks. Darling, let's make a baby. I couldn't help but tease him. What? You're going to give birth? Mentioning that memory, he gritted his teeth in anger. He gently nibbled my earlobe and carried me to the bed. I can't have children, but if you get pregnant, I can be your mount. In the dead of night, I heard Zhou Yanjian's innermost thoughts for the last time. It was a conversation between him and the system. System, congratulations, host. You have successfully completed the mission. Host, what wish do you desire? We can fulfill it for you. Zhou Yanjian gently kissed my cheek. Then I hope that my wife, Chen Chodong, remains safe, healthy, and peaceful year after year. After hearing the two stories above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.